we talked to the guy that somehow found a way with his team to pull it out, beating Clemson. Brent Key, another victory Monday as the head coach of the Jackets, joins us on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Coach, congratulations. As you like to say, your team is just built differently, are they not?
I'll tell you what, between being able to talk to you guys today and Goldberg's breakfast, I mean, goodness gracious, I mean, it's a nice Monday.
I mean, it's almost better than the victory on Saturday, I would imagine, in that regard.
I don't think anything can replace getting those wins like that. So, but no, it was awesome on Saturday, and awesome to be able to talk to y'all again.
So, are you aware at how emotional you were both on the field and then at the podium? I'm really asking.
I was going to ask the same thing, because a lot of times it's almost like it's an out-of-body experience when you're up there talking after the whirlwind that was the conclusion of that game.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of know. I mean, of course you're in the moment and you realize it, but it was the big thing was just you keep yourself so non-emotional during the game, because that's what it's about with the play. You want to calm breeds calm on the sideline. You want players to be focused and locked in and not ride that roller coaster. And I tell you what, once I saw that ball go through the uprights and the zeros on the clock, knowing there was no chance for them to do anything, I mean, it was a lot of emotions came, a lot of not just from this week or this game either.
And kudos to you, because special teams, prior to you taking over, it's not a secret, was an issue, and it really hasn't been an issue. I mean, that's something I know you guys work on, but 55 yards, tying a school record, using the Mayday, the fire drill, whatever you want to call it, getting out there is really incredible.
Yeah, it was fun to see. Even though we've improved on teams, we still have not been to the expectation that we have and where we want to be. And this past year with in the off season with Tim Salem and Brendan Farrell coming in both to really work with the teams, and we've made a lot of progress there. It's crazy because we call it Toro field goal, and we had practiced it twice last week. We had a team meeting on Friday morning, and every Friday morning I do a different situation that happened in the previous week's games. Well, the two clips I showed on Friday morning and talked to the team about, we went through Toro field goal again, and then we practiced it in our kick script walkthrough on Friday, and actually had them repeat it 3 different times just to make sure we had it perfect and right. And so it was seamless as we went through there, and we called the timeout. I called the timeout the play previously, and told them, I said, hey, look guys, here's what we're going to do. Buster called the play in, and then I said, and the next play, we're going to be in Toro's situation, hand the ball to the fish. I mean, it was flawless.
So I actually sent you a text, and we've talked about this in the past. The sign of a well-coached team and a smart team is composure. And you can talk about the plays and execution and this block and a block downfield and whatever it is you do. But you can't teach composure until you teach composure. And you don't know if you guys have it until you actually are presented with an opportunity. How proud of you were not only the whole staff, but these guys having that moment and taking full advantage of it?
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is. It's a collection of moments. And what are you going to do with those when they come your way? And you can only prepare for so many things. And, so many things happen in a football game that, it's just reactive. But to know we had that planned out, to know we prepared for it, and to see everybody calm as could be. And look, you get in those situations and everybody gets down there, everybody rushes and gets there. And, well, shoot, now you look up, well, there's 9 seconds still on the clock. And a lot of stuff can happen in that time. The holder, Marshall, he was calm. He let it tick all the way down. He snapped it at 3 seconds. No one up front moved. No one flinched. But also in that Toro situation, it doesn't allow the defense to get their cleats set and the blocks that they want and all that either. So, really it's a win-win for us.
Do you kind of have to know your kicker's mindset in that point as well? It seems like a lot of kickers would panic, but obviously Aiden Bird didn't.
No, he doesn't. He's grown so much. He had a tremendous freshman year, kind of up and down last year at times, and then really, started taking off and getting back more consistent. And he's had a great offseason of maturing from a mental standpoint, understanding the psychological aspect that comes with that position, and understanding that really nothing really matters other than what we say internally. What other people say, whether it's good or bad, success, failure, none of that matters. And I've had a ton of confidence in Aiden, and I think he's been mad at me a couple of times this year when we went for it on 4th down or something, and he could have kicked a field goal, but or might have sky punted or whatnot. And he's like, I could have kicked that. So he was itching for a long one. So I made sure we put the pressure on him to do it the right way.
There's not one coach in the country who would answer this question publicly out loud the wrong way. But I'm really asking you, if I told you I can give you any quarterback in the country or the one that you have in Haynes King, explain why, while I know what your answer is, why your answer is what it is.
Oh, goodness. I mean, it's so much more than just on the field. It's leadership. It's the experience. Nothing in the world can substitute experience at that position. And the things that he sees and, that the quarterback sees from a coverage standpoint, from a front mechanics, from the other 10 guys on offense, making sure they're all in line. And Haynes has played a lot of football for a lot of years now at this level. And, I couldn't imagine the amount of time that a defensive coordinator, defensive coach has to spend each week in a short amount of time of how to defend him, because it's out there. Everybody knows him as a runner and talks about him as a runner, but I mean, he was 20-28 now, and I mean, his efficiency as a passer is really taken off. I mean, he made the first year he was 3 years ago. He threw some interceptions, and he's been so much more consistent and efficient with what he's doing in the passing game now, and picking his shots and when to take them. So I mean, the all-around player that he is what's so in the complete body of work, I guess you would say.
So on the record, you would not trade your quarterback for any quarterback in the country.
I like the other ones in my room.
That's the right answer too, because you never know when you may need one of those players.
Come on.
I say, hey, by the way, what?
I've said that for a long time now. I wouldn't trade my quarterback room for anyone else in the country.
So how much do you think it helped that they saw Philo do the work he did, and with a limited number of hours in college, they really did have to work on two separate things, did they not?
Well, every team this year will have to work on that and do that, because it's not just the Haynes King running and Aaron throwing. I mean, my goodness, I mean, Haynes is thrown for a lot of yards and a lot of completions, and Aaron, if you remember, has run a lot of plays and had a lot of positive plays and first downs game with his feet. So they're a lot more alike than people think.
Is the nation, you think, starting to notice, like, the important people who hand out awards? Are they noticing more of Haynes King now, do you think?
Well, I hope so. I really do. He's such a modest person, whereas you cannot disrupt him from his mentality that the team is first. It is not anything about an individual. He's going to put the team first, the coaches, the staff, the student workers, whoever it is in the building, he's going to put them above him. But I'd like to find another team whose quarterback drives them like our guy. And just from he epitomizes what we are as a football team. Toughness, discipline, and playing for something bigger than just yourself. I mean, it's everything this program's been built on for 3 years.
Do you think the possibility does exist if he keeps doing this and being maybe in New York for that Heisman ceremony?
No. Who's the most valuable person to their football team? Right? Who brings the value to their team in a singular position, causes the other team to have to prepare in so many different ways for what he does, the attention that he draws. And then at the end of the day, we've got to continue to win football games, right? Because that's what it's about. It's an individual award, but it's a lot of it's based on team success. So we've got to continue to win. And, I 100% think he should be in that conversation.
Were you aware that he was on game day Saturday morning doing an interview live when he was warming up?
I did know he was going on game day.
Okay.
Doing the interview.
Can I let you hear what it is he said while he was on the field warming up?
I'd love to.
And some of the strengths that I have that's similar to others, that's what I try to emulate. Certain reads and how he runs, a little bit of Lamar Jackson, just watching him move and operate like that. But then, when I was younger, how Tom Brady operated. He controlled the whole field. Everybody listened. When he stepped in a huddle, everybody shut up and was listening, knew what was going on.
I love that. Everybody in the huddle shut up, because at that moment, you're the guy. Be the guy.
He that is him. I mean, he is. He's got command. He's got respect. I don't say anybody can't. And the respect has come. I mean, he's had that for a long time. he came in yesterday, and me and him were sitting down talking, and he was talking about the interview, and he's like, yeah, they're a little bit late starting, and I mean, he's like, we got to do our warm-ups in. I mean, I was out there throwing. I'm not going to disrupt anybody else's timing pregame. I was like, so you mean you went through that whole interview as you were warming up doing throwing? He's like, yeah, why not?
You and him seem to have a really unique relationship. Is that because he is an older quarterback, he is an experienced quarterback at this level?
I think anytime you go through adversity with somebody, you go through ups and downs, and the way the last couple of years have been, at times we have really high times, and then we'd have low times, and at the end of the day, there's two people that are looked at the end of the game, and after you win, you want everyone on the team to get praised, but when you lose a game, right, they look at two people, the quarterback and the head coach, and we understand that, he understands that, and I understand the struggle he goes through, and look, my relationship with those other guys is unbelievable as well in that room, because I just think the head coach quarterback, it's got to be a unique relationship. Right? He is the coach on the field. You got to believe in him. And when he comes to the sideline during a timeout and tells you, put the ball in my hand, I want to go win this game for us, you believe him.
Are you aware that he calls you Key?
Well, that's my name.
I know. I never heard it before, though. Got to be honest.
What, just Key?
Yeah, that's all he calls you. Key said to me, I went to the sidelines. What Key said was, I was like,
Yeah.
Nick and I have been thinking about this for the last couple of weeks.
Well, I think everybody else is, well, he's about the same age as half the staff. So, I mean, Buster is Buster, and Chris, I mean, is Wink, and there's Jeep, and Nora. I mean, it's a different relationship with him. Now, if a freshman walked up and said that, it'd be a different story.
Right.
But you earn privileges, for sure.
All right. Are you aware that I think you have actually picked out your favorite child? Maybe you said this, but I want you to hear this. This is you now. And every once in a while, people say, well, don't ever ask a man who his favorite child is. I think you're now on record.
But look at this right here. Just look at that. That's offensive lineman right there. Just like, hey, just stop it up. Right. Put me back in. But some of the stories, the way in which they talk about this young man, he takes nothing from nobody. You think that he was just like, oh, this shoved something up my nose. Let me get back out here.
He was in a car accident in December of 23, and they nearly amputated his right foot. And a couple of years later, Keelan Rutledge is out here blocking in a Power 4 conference.
All right, that's your offensive line who's bleeding all over himself and everybody else. They paid respect to him on the air. I'm sure you saw his jersey at some point.
I did.
Okay. So can I give you now, this is you, and this is, again, you, I believe, picking your favorite child ever.
We got tough kids. When you start building a program and you build your foundation in toughness, that's not an easy thing to do. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to live it every single day. And toughness isn't about, fighting people. I mean, toughness is a mental aspect to the way you approach every day. And our kids do that. They believe in it. I told you I've had more fun coaching the last 8 months, 9 months now than I've had in 25 years coaching. This group, they're special. And it's because of that. It's the toughness. It's the way they rebound. It's to play the next play. You talk about model people to be successful in life later on.
You, sir, are on the record. 25 years worth of coaching. You said this is your favorite group to be around.
It is. I'm telling you what, the resiliency that these guys have, the fact that what we ask them to do, they do, and they don't just get through it. I mean, they're working every day to get better. And this started in January. This starts in the weight room in January and in the early mornings. It's everything we've been putting out there and striving toward for the last 3 years now, to get to this point. And it's a special group. And I hope I'm able to say that every single year I'm coaching for the rest of my career.
So how do you avoid the letdown this week? That's the $64,000 question.
I believe in my team. I trust these guys. I 100% trust this football team. They give me zero reason why not to. We spoke in a team meeting last night in terms of, went around the room and asked, a couple of guys, hey, what was your favorite memory playing football in high school? What was your favorite memory ever wearing a Georgia Tech, your favorite play you ever made wearing a Georgia Tech jersey? And then I asked, I think it was Omar, I was like, what was your favorite play that you made yesterday? And I said, what do they all have in common, though? They're all in the past. You don't look at a high school play you made and think it's going to do one thing to affect the next game. So, again, it's one of those things that it was not our goal coming into the season to win Game 3. That was nowhere talked about. It was not a goal to win Game 4, Game 8, game 12. All right, our goal is much bigger than that. These are just the obstacles in the way and the things that take place for us to be able to reach our goals.
As we finish up, Nick and I were there the other day, and the student section was hyped up like I haven't seen in a long time. So here's the...
Man, that was awesome.
All right, good. So it is noticeable when you're coaching, and you do notice what's going on, at least in that regard. But here, can I give you the blessing and the curse of that? At least a little bit. I don't want to say curse, too strong. But your guys are going to be...
Everything's got a blessing and a curse, guys.
Okay, so here's the curse.
Spoken like a true coach.
You guys are going to be, your guys are going to be noticed a little bit more on campus. This fan base, this student fan base is now kicked up a little bit. They're going to be told on campus, look at you, you're a top 20 team. Look at you, what you just did. That is going to be a little bit different on that campus now, and those guys have to know that the reality is it's a thank you, we ain't done nothing yet. And you sound like you trust this group, only having them a couple of hours a day to take care of that part of the business.
I do. Pressure is a privilege, and they've earned the right to be in the position they're in, right? But when you earn that privilege, when you earn that right, you also take on the challenge that every game is a bigger game. Right? It's twofold there. And Coach Saban talked all the time to us about, more people die on the way down from Mount Everest than on the way up. Right, and there's a reason, because they relax. They think they've arrived.
Well, Coach, you know what I say? Let's do it all again next week. Let's do another Victory Monday a week from today. Good luck over the weekend against Temple. And like we said, hopefully we're talking again next Monday.
Hope so, too, guys. Appreciate y'all. Go Jackets.
Brent Key with us on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line.